Hello and welcome to the talk show. Tonight's guests are Christina, a woman who suffers from a very rare condition, and her doctor, Dr. Sachs. Please join me in giving them a warm welcome. So, thanks for being here, Christina, Dr. Sachs.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I can.
We're happy to have you.
Okay.
So I understand Christina here has a very rare condition. I understand there's only 2 people who have ever been diagnosed with this in history.
Yes,
Is that true?
that's true. Christina has experienced a total loss of proprioception.
And what exactly is proprioception?
So proprioception is the hidden sixth sense of our body. So we have our 5 distinct senses: sight, touch, smell, hearing, and taste. Proprioception is a hidden sixth sense. It deals with body positioning. It deals with your central body and its position, and also your limbs from flailing, which is why Christina here doesn't understand where her arm is. And because of this, she's learned to use her vision to guide her arms back to where they are, because she doesn't have the proprioception to do that.
So you're saying she constantly has to be looking.
Yes.
So, Dr. Sachs, how did this condition first come about?
So Christina was having very extreme abdominal pain, and it found that she had gallstones. So she was admitted to the hospital to have gallbladder surgery. This was when she experienced a very vivid dream where she felt that she couldn't stand properly, was kind of falling around, and didn't have any control of her limbs. And it turned out that her doctor diagnosed it originally as a pre-surgery anxiety, and then after the surgery, later that day, Christina had found that her dream came true, and that she had completely lost her sense of proprioception and had no idea where her limbs were. And she came into my office, and we kind of talked about it, and we ran a couple of tests and found that she had no proprioception from her toes all the way up to the top of her head.
Wow, so were you nervous for the surgery, Christina?
Not until I had this dream. I was swaying wildly. I could hardly feel the ground, and my arms were flailing everywhere.
Wow, that must have been an awful feeling.
I can't feel anything.
Right. So how did you recover from this?
So the brain has plasticity, which means that it can
Right.
kind of compensate for what's missing. And the sense of body is given by 3 things. It's given by vision, proprioception, and the vestibular system. So since Christina is suffering a lack of proprioception, you've seen multiple times throughout this interview, she must rely on her eyes and her vision to guide her body to places.
So Christina, what was it like when you realized you did not have proprioception for the first time in your life?
I felt like I had no control. I couldn't feel my body. I was unable to move. I felt like a rag doll.
So doctor, how was Christina able to function normally with this condition?
So Christina, over time, was able to use her vision to compensate for her lack of proprioception. She still moved clumsily and was unable to walk perfectly like she'd once done before, but when she sat, she was able to use her vision to make her sit very stiff, very straight, and almost with a seemingly perfect posture.
So how did you diagnose this, doctor?
Well, I didn't diagnose it originally as a loss of proprioception. We discussed some of her symptoms and decided that it might have been a biparietal syndrome. That's one of the early symptoms of early onset Alzheimer's.
Right.
But when running tests, we discovered the loss of proprioception.
Wow, fascinating. So how would you describe your condition, man?
I feel my body's blind and deaf to itself. I couldn't feel my arms, my legs. I couldn't move.
Wow, that must be an awful feeling. Christina, let's be honest. How has this condition affected your everyday life?
Well, I feel like when I use public transportation and I'm just walking around the city, a lot of people give me dirty looks because they think I walk kind of weird.
Yes, this is really unfortunate because society has no sympathy for people with a lack of proprioception because it is an unknown sixth sense. So when she explains what's wrong with her condition and why she does what she does, they think she's faking it or they think she's lying because nobody understands how important proprioception is because it's not labeled as one of the key senses in our life.
That's so sad. So, doctor, is there any cure for this condition?
I mean, there's no cure per se for the condition, but since I've been investigating this, her lack of proprioception, at first we thought that there was one of two. She was one of two, but then we found that there are other patients who are turning up with this kind of like lack of proprioception. The worst people have like these body disturbances like Christina, but most of them have just been taking enormous quantities of vitamin B6.
Wow. Okay, thank you. I think that's all the time we have.